You drive to IKEA thinking you'll grab one item, maybe a Billy bookcase, in and out in 20 minutes. But 3 hours later, you're pushing a cart loaded with $300 worth of stuff, including tea lights, stuffed sharks, and throw pillows you absolutely did not need. And you can't figure out how it happened, because from the moment you entered that blue warehouse, you stopped making your own decisions and started following a script IKEA spent decades perfecting. This is the maze. This is the trap. Most retail stores let you wander freely, but IKEA does something different. They herd you along a preordained one-way path, winding through over 50 room settings before you're even allowed to start buying. And when you've been walking for an hour with no way out, when you're finally allowed to purchase something, you feel psychologically licensed to treat yourself. IKEA deliberately places stores far from city centers, and when you've driven an hour to get there, you're not leaving empty-handed because nobody wants to admit they wasted their Saturday for nothing. You enter and immediately get funneled toward an escalator going up to the showroom, one way in and it's up, and from there, the path winds and winds, forcing you past their entire catalog. In most stores, customers only see 33% of merchandise. At IKEA, you see everything whether you want to or not. The path leads through perfectly staged rooms, and something happens to your brain when you see a sofa positioned with the right lamp, the right rug, the right throw pillows. Suddenly, you don't just want the sofa. You want the entire setup. You want your living room to look exactly like this. And before you know it, you're mentally redesigning your entire apartment. But here's what makes it sinister. The stores have no windows. None. Walk through an IKEA showroom, and you'll never see daylight, never see the parking lot, never have any reference point to the outside world. And this is deliberate, because when you lose track of time and space, when you're disoriented and don't know how long you've been walking or how far you are from the exit, you stop making rational decisions. Every 50 feet, the path breaks left so you never see what's coming, and this exploits something deep in human psychology. The fear of missing out, the need to see what's around the next corner, the inability to turn back once you've come this far. The path creates false scarcity. When you pass something you're uncertain about, you throw it in the cart immediately because the thought of backtracking through that labyrinth to find it again is unbearable. So you're not buying because you need it, you're buying because you're terrified of the maze itself. Then there are the meatballs, and this is where it gets truly calculated. 30% of IKEA customers visit stores solely to eat, and data shows customers who visit the restaurant spend approximately 30% more on furniture than those who don't, which means IKEA's food business drives billions in furniture revenue. The US president of IKEA openly admitted they don't make money on their restaurants. They price food at the absolute lowest within 30 miles, even at a loss, because those cheap meatballs aren't a side business, they're a weapon. Globally, IKEA sells 1 billion meatballs annually, each one designed to keep you inside longer. The cafeterias are strategically positioned mid-store at exactly the moment when you're exhausted and your willpower is depleted. And here's why this matters. Your brain consumes 20 to 25% of your oxygen intake, so by feeding you cheap carbohydrates halfway through, IKEA literally refuels your brain so you have the cognitive energy to continue making purchases for another hour or two. Food becomes a weapon against your own rational thinking. But the most disturbing revelation? In 2021, IKEA tested a different concept in 80 locations, making stores less maze-like with choose-your-own-path layouts, giving customers actual freedom to navigate however they wanted. Customers absolutely hated it. They demanded the maze back. IKEA shut down the new format in Madrid, Shanghai, and Warsaw because shoppers reported they actually preferred having a guiding hand and felt lost without the structured path, which reveals something deeply unsettling. We've been conditioned so thoroughly that when given real freedom, we feel uncomfortable and actively request the return of control. Every element has been calibrated to override your decision-making. And the disturbing part? Even after these manipulations were exposed, people demanded the maze back. IKEA didn't just build a furniture store, they built a system that turns free will into profit, and we're paying them to do it.